All right, everybody. This is the radio show. I feel like I should be talking about this in a very exciting voice because this is an intro with intro music. I should talk about being an underground bunker or being amazing or being at the top of Mount Rushmore or Mount something. But really, we're just going to do a quick break in the music, and then we're going to come in with a subtle, poorly looped track. This is going to get us a little more comfortable towards the topics we're talking about, which is computers, internet, websites, graphic design, programming, music. And this is the start of the show and the end of the intro. Welcome, everybody. This is the second episode, and if anybody's listening, that was our tentative intro, but we're almost in agreement that we want to stick with it for a while. At least we find it entertaining. But if you didn't listen to the last show, you don't know that I'm still trying to figure out this whole noise gate thing they have on the mic, which is great. It cuts out the fan and furnace and dogs and all the other crap that goes on in this house. But if I don't talk for an extended period of time, like in, I don't know, maybe like a couple seconds, then it does pick that up and assume that that's what needed to be loud. So while I figure that out, and or clean my computer so the fan isn't loud, we're going to have to deal with me trying to talk continuously, which I guess that's what a radio show is anyway. I think we started a couple minutes late. I was having trouble uploading or finding the second musical track for the show today, which sadly is from one of my own bands that I couldn't actually find the song I was looking for, and even worse, I could only find one song. So somewhere out there, the band I was in for 6 or so more years and several albums later, I can only find one track. So that's great. That's good to know. And it's uploading right now, so I'm hoping I can actually utilize it. I'm going to try and get to it right now without screwing up the show itself. See if it'll let me get to it. I'm doing that now. Oh, it looks like it will. And it is now added to my playlist. Maybe. It's thinking. It's contemplating it. Alright, good. So we have that. Now I'm going to try to breathe and do that quick enough so that we don't pick up my fan noise. I think we were successful. I had notes. They were on one of my monitors. There they are. I want to thank, excuse me, I want to thank Justin, who is one of the folks that work with us at the Digital Craft. I don't have a name for him, and Javier and Jaden, which, an apology to Javier. Somehow on the last show I decided his name was Xavier. You could see how I could screw that up. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, his name is Javier, not Xavier. But anyway, Justin helped me out, not only with working on some course outlines for the course we just launched, which I'll talk about in a minute, but he helped me, jot down some potential topics for the show, not just today, but just in general. He called himself the Digital Craft stenographer, basically. I ramble on and he listens and jots down notes and puts my rambles into real words, and I'm very appreciative of that. So thank you, Justin. I believe he is sleeping now because he lives on the West Coast, which actually he should be up by now, but he was following my schedule, so since I was awake all night and now all day, I think he deserves a little bit of time to get a nap in. I know I'm going to try to. Anyway, that's enough about stuff that doesn't matter or does or doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, I'll start with some quick news about the digital craft. Of course, if you are I don't know how to say it. If you like the digital craft, I'd like to say if you are a friend, but if you have liked the digital craft, you are probably aware now that we've launched officially launched the continuing ed courses. We're starting off with Basics of Web Design Level 1. We're really just calling it Web Design 1. And there'll be Web Design 1, 2, and 3 that I know of, but 1 for now. And we're going to try out this scheduling concept that I have, and we're gonna try it out for about a month and see how that works. And if it doesn't work, we'll take people's feedback and things like that and rearrange it and start putting the other courses that we're working on. We'll start opening those up to the public as well. The ultimate goal would be to get more onto a schedule like a regular school would do. You know, a fall semester or something like that. I don't know. Either way, some really, put it out in advance so people can register, have a lot of time to register and prepare and all that, and or grab the funds. I understand me just saying, hey, boom, there's courses, give me all your money. That doesn't work very well for everybody. So we're doing what we can to try and make things work good for everybody. If you were following the Facebook today as well, I'm still working on I'm trying to figure out how to talk. Working on the ability to call into the show, purchase some software that hooks up this Spreaker program to Skype. Basically creates a virtual cable that I can route. Without getting into the specifics, let's just say there's some more advanced things I need to do there, and a little more testing. I got it to the point where I could actually hear the callers, which was the thing I was having the most trouble with. But the moment I got that down, and I mean it was down, they were the Skype test lady sounded amazing. She also got a lot of calls today, but once I started talking, it sounded like garbage, and I'm hoping that now that I've turned all that off, that's not what's coming out right now. I hope there isn't garbage noise coming out. I hope it's just my voice coming through a mic. So let's hope for that. I don't really know. Now, if anybody is actually listening right now, which I have no clue, I could be talking to myself. It's not the first time. There is a little chat window at the bottom right of the screen, or actually at the bottom right of my screen. I don't actually know where the chat is for you guys, but feel free to chime in if there is anybody. I'm not really sure. I think you just leave a message on the page where the show is, but I'll try and pay attention to that if anybody does. Anyway, on to the show. I guess if we haven't already been doing the show, I'll note now that this is pretty much, it's episode 2. It's also test 2. I won't consider the episodes truly official episodes until we've worked out all the kinks and I have an actual set day and time, if not days, that I'm going to air. My ultimate goal would be to air every weekday, but I've got to get on a normal schedule to pull that off. So either way, even if I air once a week or 3 times a week, we will have a set schedule so that everybody can rely on that. And those who can't make it, whether you're in another time zone or you just don't feel like listening to me live, you want to listen to me later, you can always listen to the show. They're always recorded and able to be listened to later. And the awesome commercial breaks we do, those go along with it. So our ad revenue comes in whether you listen live or not. However, right now it seems like we're in some sort of little trial limbo where they're still playing Spreaker ads, which means they don't have an ad to put in that is relative to our show and location. Thank you, Fort Wayne. But so until we actually have an ad that's not for Spreaker, I can't say it right, then that means we're not really making any money. But that's not the point, at least at the moment. The point is to advertise the website, the tutorials on YouTube, our YouTube channel, as well as the courses and sessions, and just to talk about technology and other stuff. So, to really quick give a recap on the format before I start the show, which I think I've said 5 times now, we will start with an intro that is either the intro we have now, which is titled Theme 2.0. I don't know. Anyway, I'll take everybody's opinion on that one later. But talk about a little bit of news with the site and I say the site. When I say the site, I mean the whole thing, the whole digital craft. There's sites plural. The organization, I guess. Then I'm going to have a few topics to talk about. If I have any callers or people who have left topic suggestions, I will address those. And then we will have 2 commercial breaks. They're only about 30 seconds, so it's pretty harmless. And 2 musical breaks, which will be anywhere from 2 to maybe 5 minutes, depending on the song. And these are, again, local artists of Fort Wayne and the surrounding area. This is my way of trying to give them an audience outside of Northeast Indiana. And hopefully I can stop playing my music soon. We have 1 artist today that's not me, and 1 that is me. Like I said, I located a track from my old band. I already played my current band's last episode, so I don't want to over promote myself or whatever. I'd rather promote other people. So with that said, we have a commercial break coming up soon, so I'm going to pick one of these topics I have from my list to talk about really quick before the commercial break so that I can get it in. One of the topics that Justin and I talked about or discussed was just code editing software in general, some of the options. I've talked about this in my vlogs. You've seen me use various editors in my free video tutorials on the YouTube channel, which, by the way, is youtube.com/thedigicraft. But there are all sorts of editors out there, and then as I've been doing these one-on-one sessions with people all over the world, really, I find that there are some out there that I've never heard of, and are seem to be popular as well. So I know the ones that I've used personally, Notepad++, which is what we're going to use for the course. or the course we're offering now. That way, because it's free, I don't want anybody to have to pay anything more than the registration fee right now. Eventually we may do books, whether I write them or we use pre-existing books, I don't know. But right now, I'm trying to keep things as inexpensive as possible. I'm not a college. I don't want to be a college. I don't want you to owe me money for the rest of your life like I owe a certain woman's name bank place that I don't want to mention. And I'll probably be paying them forever. But unless people donate a large amount of money. But so yeah, I mean, Notepad++, that's what we're going to use. It's free. It's got a lot of the capabilities that some of the bigger editors have. Yet it is a very small program. It is a enhanced Notepad. It has all the color coding needed. It has some built-in plugins for FTP as well as other plugins that you can search for. It's set up to kind of change the format and color coding for different languages. It can really do everything we need to do, especially for this first course here, this basics HTML and just a tiny bit of CSS. We really don't need anything robust. We need something simple, actually. I don't want people to be distracted by the software. So if you don't want to be distracted by some robust software, Notepad++ is a place to start. Google them. They've been around for a while, and it's great that they still offer their software for free. Another breathing break. Yeah, so on top of that, then there's Dreamweaver, of course, which we use quite a bit in our videos. Get a lot of flack from professionals for that, but I use it when I want to because I feel like that's, excuse my computer, that is my decision, and I feel the same way about you out there who are learning web stuff either from me or from somebody else. If you want to use Dreamweaver, if you can afford it, for one, use it. But hand code. Don't rely on their drag and drops and all that stuff and all that. Unless you know how to do exactly what the drag and drop options are, like dragging and dropping a form element or a table or whatever. If you don't know how to hand code it, then don't drag and drop it. I guess that's my philosophy. I don't drag and drop anything. I hand code everything. I use Dreamweaver because I'm used to the shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts. I love their autocomplete. I can fly through things with that autocomplete. And the built-in FTP is great as far as an FTP program goes. Their version control capabilities leaves a little bit to be desired so far. Anytime I have to work with version control, I prefer to use Eclipse and or just flat out Tortoise SVN or something like that, other tools. But and Eclipse, that's another one. Eclipse is huge. Eclipse is kind of like Dreamweaver, only open source, free. All sorts of different versions, and I don't just mean releases as in 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, but each release has all sorts of different versions, some from Eclipse themselves, those guys, some from third party people. Some folks have actually taken the software and completely kind of reworked it into their own, such as Aptana. If you search for Aptana, you'll find that it's actually Eclipse, but only kind of redeveloped into a web developer or a web development interface, whereas Eclipse is more of a Java and software interface by default. My personal favorite is the PHP version, which if you want, you can get the PHP version and then install the Aptana add-on, which I like that better. It doesn't screw with things too much, but it also I get all the PHP functionality from the PHP version, but I also get a little bit of the web stuff from Aptana. It's a nice little combination, but that's really up to you. I know there are some tools for Mac, which if I felt like turning my Mac on, I'd look at the tool I have on there, something CyberDuck or something. I know that's a simple either FTP or editor or both. I don't know. That shows how much I care about my Mac, and that's a story for another day. It's there because I have to have it if I want to release an iOS app. The Mac must be present. So it sits and waits for me to hit a key on the keyboard that's underneath my desk. But anyways, I have talked myself way past the commercial break. I'm going to do the commercial break, breathe, drink energy drinks. I wish I had enough time to brew some coffee. Maybe I'll wait for the music break for that one. But anyway, here's the commercial break. I hope it's a real commercial, not a Spreaker commercial, because that means we're making money. But either way, I got to do one because that's just what you do. So, commercial break starts now. And we are back on the air. I don't know what that commercial was because I can't hear them for some reason. I have to wait till playback, which I believe they're dynamic commercials. I believe they change during playback. I don't believe the commercials are recorded. I believe just the fact that there is a break is recorded, and Spreaker kind of does the rest for me. But I don't know. I'm just making assumptions at this point. I do realize that 30 seconds is not enough time for me to do anything but catch my breath. So that stinks. Since we're a little late on that commercial break, we're pushing closer to our little music break. So in light of that, I wanna use a story. I'm gonna keep names out of it, but something that happened recently that's directly related to this program. Actually, it's excuse me, it has to do with music, and I think it's a good segue into our little music break. So I put out an ad for local musicians on Craigslist, and or at least that's the first place I put it, and instantly I got 2 responses, one of which from the band you're about to hear, and another from a musician who I will call him Musician X. This person sent me a link to a YouTube video, and of course it was just one of those YouTube videos where it's just text and the audio, just, you know, an excuse to get the audio up on YouTube. But the text had a couple of things that interested me. The person's name, Musician X, I didn't know who this person was. However, it clearly stated that it was produced by Musician Y, and featured Musician Y, and was recorded at Studio Z. So hopefully we're following everybody here. The musician who contacted me is Musician X. The musician who produced and is featured on this is Musician Y, and the recording studio that it was recorded at is Studio Z. So I notice that I recognize the name of both Studio Z and Musician Y, and I I first respond asking to make sure that the producer and the featured musician Y has given permission to use the track. And I had a response back quickly. Yes, I have full rights to this, says musician X. And I say, great. But, I wasn't going to air it yet. I wanted to wait. Plus, I didn't even have it. I responded with, I don't know, I'll paraphrase myself here and say that I said, great, can you send me a link to download it? And I think I even stopped myself there and said, you know what? Actually, I'm kind of a partner with Studio Z, and I could just get a master copy from them pretty easily. So, you really don't even have to worry about it. And I quickly got a reply back saying, no. Don't worry about contacting Studio Z. I can give you a link to the track right away. He may have even attached it to the email. I don't remember. Anyway, I had to leave at that point. I didn't put much thought into it. Excuse my furnace. If you hear it, it's running. But it just so happened that, I don't know, luck would have it, or irony would have it, that that day, or either that day or the next day, I can't remember, but I had a meeting with Studio Z, and to my surprise, musician Y, not X, not the one I'm in contact with, but the one who is a producer and featured, this musician is at this meeting as well. So we do our meeting, and I've personally never met musician Y. I just know of this person through friends and fellow musician colleagues and such, and just popularity of the musician. So at the end, musician Y and I are pretty much the only ones left outside of the Studio Z owners. And as I walk out, I shake the musician's hand, and I say, hey, funny story. The radio program I was talking about in our meeting, one of the first submissions was somebody that claimed to have you featured, and that you produced said piece of music. And he looked very disappointed, and he said, I didn't have to tell him the name of musician X. He knew exactly what I was talking about, and I'll keep some of the conversation to myself. But bottom line, he said, no, there is no right to use that on my program. And of course, that wasn't that wasn't meant negatively towards me. What had happened was somebody out there decided to take advantage of Studio Z and musician Y, and it appears that money has not been exchanged, or some sort of situation is there. But either way, somebody, musician X, is not able to use this song. And what I'm getting at is all the things that have gone wrong here. Jeez, excuse me. Kids don't smoke. It applies to our business as well, and that is the business of web development, web design, graphic design, all that. All of us freelancers. We're not much different than musicians and just general artists. We have a standard that we need to live up to, and a reputation that we need to hold, and we need to be very, very careful about how we present ourselves, what we say to people, and things like that. And as much as I wanted to, tell this person off, who, maybe he's going to hear this one day. It's fine, but it's good for him to know. I restrain because this is, the point I'm trying to get across. So I refrain from telling this person off, and gave him a nice little message about, the scenario between himself, musician X, musician Y, and Studio Z, and I said, I apologize, but I cannot play your track. And furthermore, even if there isn't an issue with money or whatever, I don't know what the issue is, and I don't want to pretend that I know and cause drama, even though I'm trying to hide names. But point is that I ran into the person who has if not all the rights to the track, being a musician Y, and he flat out told me no. So this musician X was, one, willing to let me play copyrighted music that was not his own. And not only that, went to great, in my mind, great lengths to allow that to happen before I found out, because no offense to musician X, but I hope he or she, was intelligent enough to realize that when I said I could get a master copy right now if I wanted to for you, because I am a partner of sorts with Studio Z, I would hope that the bells were ringing in musician X's head that I'm going to find out that this is not your material. I don't care if this is your voice, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's singing on it. I don't know if it's all his work. Either way, it was produced and featured and recorded by other parties. So somebody else has a part in this, if not more than one. And said musician was willing to let me do that, even though knowing I was going to find out eventually. He just probably didn't realize I was going to find out the next day. But that's awful. Now I'm not a person who's going to do much more than rant about it on a radio program that I don't even know if anybody's listening to right now. But what if I would have aired it? I don't think musician Y, especially now that we have met officially, I don't think this musician would have sued me or anything. I might have gotten a stern email or conversation, but it would have not only potentially caused legal issues for me, but it would have put a strain on a relationship that I've had for a long time with a studio, and a new relationship I have with a musician who's involved with this said studio. And why? I've given an opportunity to play a track on a radio program that may have one listener, myself, or 1,000. Either way, we have the potential to have a large audience now or later, based on just statistics and things from the YouTube channel. But even so, even if we have 5 listeners, we have an international audience, and I just think that's a cool thing. And I wanna give that to anybody I can in my town, because we don't get luck like that. We don't have we've got awesome venues here that I love to play at. Most of them are hole in the wall bars that I can barely fit in with my drums, but it's great. I love it. But the only downside is that, professional rock star label exec A running out of letters, is never going to be sitting in the booth here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So I want to let these folks get their music out to a different audience, however big or whatever or where that is. I just want to get them out. So for this person to, blatantly kind of just throw me under the bus is pretty pathetic in my point, or in my view. And this person doesn't really know who I am, and I can't lie. I have a reputation in this town. I don't know if it's good, if it's bad, if it's in between. I quit drinking 6 years ago, so I'm really only out and about when my own bands play, and that's just for my family and my own safety. But either way, I know people, and I'm not saying that to sound cool, but how does this person do this? And bottom line, I ended the email saying, just be careful. Burn a bridge, one bridge in a town like this. We're not small, but we're not huge. I mean, we're over 500,000 and growing, and it might be the metropolitan area. I don't know, but we're not a little city, but we are small enough that you burn one bridge, and you might have every door shut on you. In fact, he didn't just burn one bridge. He burned a bridge with me. He's already burned a bridge with Studio Z and musician Y, and who knows who else. And what's going to happen, because I'm going to remember this person's name, not their music, but I will remember their name. In fact, I don't remember if it was good or not. I don't remember if I was even planning on playing it in general. I might have just been being nice. I don't know. I just remember now this person's name in the scenario. So if somebody in town says, hey, musician X would like to play at my club, have you heard of this person? What about him? I'm going to tell them my experience. And that sucks, because I'm an honest person. And I don't want to screw over a venue or a fellow musician or anything who wants to be in contact, or is potentially going to be in contact with said musician X. So, anyway, the parallels to our industry, hopefully you can see them throughout my rambling, because I didn't make them very clear. But the bottom line is don't burn bridges, don't steal. Now, granted, us graphic designers, talking to you and even web designers, we borrow, steal, whatever from everybody out there. That's art. How are you going to get better work or cooler work if you haven't, you don't have a muse, you don't have somebody you look up to, even the musicians. We've got our favorites, and our sound is going to reflect that. But don't do things like this that are going to ruin you. If you're doing freelance work in a small town, don't steal someone's work that lives in your town and pass it off as your own and give it to a client. That's about pretty much a similar situation there. I mean, what if I made a website and I completely ripped it off of one of my competitors and gave it to another local business? They're going to figure it out before long, and then what happens? It's terrible. It's bad. It's bad business. Or what if I'm a graphic designer and I don't know anything about programming, and I'm going to hire a programmer to do the dirty work, and then I just flat out don't pay them, or I don't pay them completely, and I go ahead and sell that product and make the money off of it and launch that site? That's about the same scenario. And don't be that person. I've had a buddy who he knows who he is if he ever listens to this, and I'm not harping on him. I love the guy, but I almost thought he was going to do this to me. It just turns out the client was being kind of a little slow with the payment. But I just had to bring that up. But he'll get a kick out of that if he ever hears that. But anyway, parallels are there, and I've gone way too far. We're gonna have to like squeeze tons of stuff into tons of stuff because I have this pretend limit of an hour. So without further ado, we're going to move into our music break, which is just a quick track. It's a little on the heavier side, if I remember correctly. I listened to it a couple of times, but I know that I only got about halfway through it because I got distracted or I got a phone call. It's not PG, it's not R, I don't know. You might not even be able to catch what's coming through the vocals because it is a little heavier. But please enjoy. This is the band Pearl Presley from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The song is Blow Me Away, and I will have their information that I was supposed to have as soon as the song is over, so that you can check them out if you do in fact enjoy them. And I will note that this is the band that emailed me immediately alongside Musician X. So in my mind, I'm going to give these guys props. They did everything right. They got everything to me. They appreciated the opportunity. No matter what. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who I am. They don't know what I'm doing. They probably don't even know what is going on here. All they know is that someone's giving them an opportunity and they took it and they hopped on it. Unlike Musician X, who is shunned from our awesome program. But Pearl Presley is not. So here we go with Pearl Presley. I'm going to mute myself so we don't get any noise. And we're going to listen to their noise. And I do promise the Pearl Presley folk, I will get your info from your email and plug your social media presence and websites and such, all that. So here we go. Pearl Presley, Blow Me Away.
Cause I'm about to explode, got me ready like a load of fire up. And you won't notice in my socket, you a funky ass dick. Run like hell when there's no one can tell. I can see that you are fried, your fingers me excited. That your gun and loaded, pull the trigger, you got nowhere else to go. Blow, 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 blow me away, way, way. Blow, 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 blow me away. You can fight, but I've got you submitted. You can say I won't, but I know I get it. You can scream, but I won't listen. There's no break for intermission. I just want you to blow me away to the darkness, away to the sea, way out of this world so you'll never see me. But I'll be back one day till then you'll stay. In my purgatory, you'll be self-statutory. Get your gun and load it, pull the trigger. You got nowhere else to go. Blow, 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 blow me away, way, way. Blow, 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 blow me away. You can fight, but I've got you submitted. You can say I won't, but I know I get it. Well, you can scream, but I won't listen. There's no break for intermission. I just want you to blow me. Blow, 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 blow me away, way, way. Blow, 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 blow me away. I can't fight 'cause you got me submitted. You can say I won't, but I know you will. You can scream, but I won't listen. I get sick of all this bitching. I just want you to blow me away.
And that was Pearl Presley out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, with the track Blow Me Away. And I found their email So I want to thank Cody for getting me the track. Sadly, I don't know if Cody is in the band or promoter of the band. I assume he's in the band, so I apologize, Cody. But either way, thank you for getting all this to me on time. And he wanted to stress the name of the band. Pearl Presley is spelled P as in Paul, E A R as in Robert, L as in Larry, P as in Paul, R E S as in Sam, S as in Sam, L Y, Pearl Presley. And that was what they would like me to mention, along with a link to the Facebook page, which I don't have the link. Do I? I have the link to their ReverbNation.com. But I think that just takes me to the song. So I'm going to tell you that first really quick while I magically figure out their Facebook page again. So if you want to catch out that track again, go to reverbnation.com/blowmeaway. All one word, no spaces, no underscore, just blow me away. And if I can, I don't know, I might be able to post this in my comments area here. We shall see. Flash is running a little janky as usual. If I didn't know the last program, it's the only thing that Adobe has that I just kind of wonder about. So I think I might have broke my messenger here on the console. So instead, let me just repeat that: reverbnation.com/blowmeaway, all one word, no underscores, no spaces. And while I do this, again, I tell you, I'm going to find their Facebook page. But do please remember the point of the overdrawn story I told just a minute ago. I know firsthand what it's like to burn a bridge in this town, and I'll tell you, it took me I don't know, probably close to a decade to get anywhere near away from that bridge that burned, and I don't even know if I repaired it. But I've managed to move past that and have a different outlook on things, and I hate seeing people do the same mistake. However, I will note that I wasn't intentionally trying to burn bridges. Musician X, I don't know, as I keep talking about him, I get less and less interested in what he did, and more and more interested in making sure that he can't do that to anybody else again. I'm still looking for actually, it looks like that is the link. I'm sorry, that doesn't just take you to the song, that takes you to their page. So last time, reverbnation.com/blowmeaway. I'm still looking for the Facebook one, but if I can't find it here in just a second, I can't. Nope, there it is. Facebook.com/Pearl Presley. And again, that is spelled P as in Paul, E as in Earl, A as in Alan, R as in Robert, L as in Larry, P as in Paul, R as in Robert, E, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, L, Y, PERLPRESSLY. Facebook.com/Pearl Presley. And I will make sure to link to them one way or another, so that those who could not catch my fumbling, whatever I just did, if that didn't come out right, I will link this for Cody. And again, thank you, Cody. Thank you, Cody, for not being Musician X. Thank you for giving me a track, giving me your own track, and giving me the ability to download it immediately. They have another track that I have in the queue for another day, and they also wanted me to mention that it looks like they have a video and that they're working on some other tracks that they want to send my way a little bit later. So if I get back to my DJ console here, I see that I have drawn on way too long, and I'm going to make the executive decision to not stop at an hour, but I'm going to stop in due time. But I want to get some of these topics out. So we talked about Musician X. We talked about some of the code editing software, better known as like an IDE. The actual words that go into that acronym or abbreviation are eluding me at the moment. I apologize. I believe it has something to do with interface development environment or something like that. I apologize. We'll talk more about that on a day that I don't blab on about other stuff. Another topic was Adobe Cloud Services. I know I've talked about this on vlogs before, and potentially just on Facebook alone and to people during private sessions. However, I want to stress that what Adobe's done right now, I don't remember when they first started this, but it was the best idea they could have done. I wish they would have done it years ago. Adobe Cloud Services, there's some other things involved with it, but the main thing is that you can go there and you can sign up and pay a monthly fee to use the Adobe software. And I don't just mean Photoshop, I mean the entire Master Suite. Pretty much everything they have in the Master Suite, everything except for the touch apps. And I think there's supposedly some extensions for some of the software, I believe Photoshop or Illustrator or something, that allows you to actually use some of the touch app functionality, which I have yet to take advantage of. But for someone like me who did not have the ability to upgrade, and my last version was too old, I couldn't upgrade for a discount, and so I had to agree to a year contract. But that year contract got me down to $49 a month. So for $49 a month, I have the entire Adobe suite at my disposal. I can teach this. I can do videos on it. Stay current. It's great. My wife's calling me, and I just ignored it. So don't be surprised if I never broadcast again. But anyway, point being, $50 and a year contract, and you're going to get the software. Not only are you going to get the software, but you're going to get the upgrades, the patches, the support. All these things are included. And not only that, when they do a new version, when CS7 comes out, you're grandfathered into it, and you can't beat that. You're gonna excuse me, you're gonna get that without having to pay anything extra. So if you were to actually buy the software outright, you'd be paying thousands of dollars for the software and then thousands of dollars for the upgrade. I mean, a couple less thousands of dollars, but thousands of dollars in general. So what I'm getting at is, check that out. If you're a student, they've got even better deals, I believe. Talking to Javier, I believe it was either Javier or Justin, but we're talking like $19.99 a month if you're a student. Granted, I'm sure that's just like any of the other student deals they've had where you cannot legally do commercial work, but if you're learning, man, $20 a month, that's worth not pirating it. I tell you that. And I cannot honestly say that I have been a very good person in my 30 years of life with that. But pirating, no. If you can buy it, buy it. It's worth it. The software developers deserve it. And if you're listening to my program and watching my videos and taking my classes or sessions to be a web developer or to learn how to be a web developer, you're going to learn right away why pirating sucks. It sucks for everybody. It sucks for you, the programmer. It sucks for the community overall, because that's why prices get hiked up. It's not good. So as somebody who has purchased the software now and before, it's great to have that support. You wouldn't think it, but being able to just call Adobe and say, this is the issue I'm having with the software, or get on all their technical support forums and things like that. It's great. So check that out. The other thing I know they have is a month-to-month, which is something like $70 or $80 a month. Which, honestly, if you're working on a project and it's it's only going to take you a month or two, and that's all you need it for. That's as long as the project's bringing in some revenue, and it's it could be really worth it. I love the thing I love the most is that just like when you download the trial to check it out every time they put out a new release, it just kind of stays there. You don't have to if you do it month to month, you don't have to reinstall everything or anything. It just kind of gets turned off, and then you pay your bill and then it gets turned back on. That's pretty great. And they're pretty good about telling you when updates and new software comes out. So that's my spiel on cloud services from Adobe. They have a lot of other cool things, web fonts, which I haven't got into too much because I'm a little concerned about a few things that I need to check into. I don't know. I'm concerned that the way they have it set up, that if I decide to not be purchase their software anymore, let's say for instance I get out of this job completely, do the web fonts on my clients' websites from the past, do they just turn into generics all of a sudden or something, or are there errors? I don't know yet. I need to find that out, and if anybody else can find that out and let me know, that'd be great, and I'd let everybody else know on another show. We're still under an hour, so that's good. I got that one out quick. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the budget. Part of the reason why I'm doing things like this show, and which I definitely like better than the vlogs. That's not saying I'm not doing the vlogs, but I was never a fan of being on camera. I'm getting a little more used to it, and I am having a little fun with it. But this is a lot more fun. Plus, I get to play music, so that's cool. But anyway, the vlogs, the videos, the ads all over the website, things like that. It's all to keep us running. For those who don't know, those who are new, I get new likes to the Facebook page every day, so I don't know who, if I'm talking to brand new people, or if I'm talking to half and half, or if I'm talking to all people that have been around for a while now. Either way, I pretty much quit my job. I had a little money coming in afterwards, but I pretty much quit my job in order to do this. Totally based on the faith, by looking at what had been done traffic wise, the testimonials, the overall attention and amazing things that people have to say about my teaching method, which I'm just astounded. I love it, and it humbles me. It does not make me grow a big head. it's just, to me, still luck. But the fact that I'm about to push 1 million views, 1 million video views, to be more specific, that's just awesome. And that's come very, very kind of quickly. We went from a couple 100,000 to this within only a couple of months after the sites or the channel had been there for at least 1.5 years. Just all of a sudden, boom, things just kicked off, and it was either a sign from something, or I just was awake enough one day to realize that this is where I wanted to go. So again, I ramble, but I do want to bring up the budget and funding status. We are most months, I think we're covering our expenses for the digital craft to keep it running. I mean, I've done a pretty good job at keeping it efficient. It's the most efficient as far as how much money is needed to run it each month. It's more efficient than any other thing I've done, that's for sure. I don't want to get into specifics, but let's just say I've got as low as we can get it. But we do have services like the Spreaker that I've got to pay for, the go-to training, which I really, 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 I could say really 10 more times and not even stress the amount of realiness that I want to keep that software. However, it is expensive. It's the most expensive asset we have, or tool we're using. And I really need some people to join these courses. Since they don't start until next Thursday, I have no idea what the outcome's going to be. But I either need people joining the courses right away this month, or I need some serious one-on-one sessions, because I want to be able to afford and prove to myself, to those around me that care about what I'm doing financially, that I can at least afford to cover my cost on that right at the moment while we're still getting courses together. But outside of that, we've got the free hosting, which it's money out of my pocket, but it's a good service, I think, and I want to open up more slots on that. So bottom line, we are close to covering our costs every month. Some months we do, some months we're close enough. However, the only expense we are keeping out of that is me. I am not factored into that budget. My work on the website, my work on things like this show and learning this whole software to do this show, putting the show together, putting the vlogs together, putting the videos together, all these things, and preparing for courses and all that stuff, as well as maintaining the website and making sure that I continue to get that where it needs to be. This is all stuff that is not in the budget. And there's kind of two budgets right now. There's the site budget, keeping it alive, and there's the keep Alan and his family from losing their home and their children not being fed. Me too. I don't want it to sound like I'm going to eat and they won't. But I'm kidding. But point being, there's an amount of money I need to personally make to contribute to my family, as anybody else would know. So there's kind of two budgets here, and we're crossing the digital craft budget for the most part, but we're not really digging into personal budget very well, and we got to get that going. And right now, donations are important, but as I've said many times, I would much rather teach one-on-one or courses to earn that money, rather than donations for the free videos I've done. I mean, I know it's still work, but I just love that one-on-one contact, or even that group contact, learning each other, networking with each other, the ability for everybody to network with each other, the fact that I get to see what people do with the videos I've produced. Just recently, actually yesterday or even earlier this morning, I'm kind of confused on the day since I haven't slept yet, but I just spoke with a young lady who used our videos and showed me what they worked on. I apologize if you can hear the sirens in the background. But they did an excellent job, and I want to showcase it, and I will soon. And I want to see more people's work. And one thing I'll note about this particular one is that it was done based off of the building a website from start to finish series. And the only way to really tell, I mean, outside the fact that she told me, but was there was just some subtle pieces and parts that I could tell. So I love the fact that they went and customized it as much as they could, and there's just a little remnant of the video stuff in there, and that's great. That's awesome. I want to showcase this stuff, so keep that in mind. So bottom line, we need more funding, courses, classes, or one-on-one sessions, donations, etc. There's now a donations section on the website. It is either donate.thedigitalcraft.com or thedigitalcraft.com/donate, and that takes you to an option for PayPal. Also reminds you that you can do one-on-one sessions and get a little more for your money. I will be adding a few more extra, a little more interesting ways to donate or contribute. There's also a pie chart on there right now that will be showing in a pretty close, as close as I can get, approximate and current budget, or at least percentage of budget covered. Right now, it's very, 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 very approximate. Especially for the beginning of the month, it might be kind of close, but it was really more of a test. So I will be working on that and making sure that stays current. And then I'm going to put my own personal budget on there, just for a while, just until we get a little bit off our feet. I need people to see that this is definitely it's work, and I'm going to keep doing it. But I feel it's important to see the two budgets next to each other for a while until we can really take off. Anyway, 8 minutes over the hour, and luckily I don't have anybody coming on after me. This isn't AM radio, talk show, whatever it would. So I had 2 more topics. I'm not going to use them today. I will tell you what they were, or what they are, and I will do that as soon as this commercial break's over. So the commercial break, talk about the topics I'm going to talk about next time, and then a quick music outro. So really quick commercial break to pay some bills, hopefully. All right, and we are back. So as promised, if you are still here after that beautiful commercial that I could not hear, but I hope was a commercial, I wanted to talk about Google. In fact, my exact note is Google and why I like them. So we'll talk about that one on the next show. I also wanted to talk about tablets and phones, and that could be a quick or a very, very big topic. iPhones, Androids, Windows, tablets, and phones galore. Blackberries that don't exist anymore, I don't think. If they do, careful. Because I don't think they're sticking around. I think the HP OS, which used to be the Palm, I think they bit the dust. I cannot be positive of that, but pretty sure they're out of the picture. So those are the two topics. Next time I won't ramble on so much. But we're going to end the show with, since I don't have an outro, and I really can't top that intro. But so we'll exit with a musical track, and yes, this is a band that I used to be in, a band that does not exist anymore, and if they try to exist anymore, I'll try to make sure they don't. Because the music was good how it was, let's keep it at that. Anyway, this is the band Pleasing Melanie that used to hail out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. I was the drummer on this. My brother was the singer, and I use the term brother lightly. However, I will note that pretty much all but one of the musicians from this band are in my other bands, so that's fun. Anyway, this is the end of the show. We're going to leave it with this track, so please enjoy.
Hey yo! So sick goes down, not for me, not bed road, down every street. Never wanted me, they are the same, doing the same shit, man, to a different day. With same old song, to a different bar, same old riff on a different guitar. Gotta get away, not gonna tell you how, I'm gonna leave this damn old town. We're going down south, man. Going out looking back now. We're going down track now. No, I'm never looking back now. We've got my backpack, ain't looking back. Headed on south down the railroad track. Smoke, get drunk, winter's too cold, summer too hot, the landman's way too many fucking cops. Come on vacation, leave on station, there's slow smoking for dislocation. No, last 1 year, life been free, as long as them police leave me be. We're going down south, baby, no, I'm not looking back now. We're going down track now, no, I'm never looking back now. Got my backpack, ain't looking back. Headed on south down the railroad track. Going down, going down, going down. Well, I'm going down, down, I'm going down. Going down, I'm going down south. Going down, down, I'm going down. Going down, going down south. Going down, going down. Going down, I'm going down south. Going down south, going down. Going down south, 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 going down, I'm going down south. Yeah. So I'm headed down to Memphis, down to Tennessee. I heard good things about New Orleans. Need me some jazz, 30 old blues. Gonna get some grub down at Baton Rouge. Now, when I find a spot that suit me the best, I hang my hat, gonna find me rest. And there I stay, family and I'll be there till the day I die. Going down south, baby. No, I'm not looking back now. We're going down track now. No, I'm never looking back now. Where we all going down now. No, I'm never looking back now. Where we're going down track now. No, we're never looking back now. Well, got my backpack, ain't looking back. Headed on south down the railroad track.
And thank you for listening. That was my old band Pleasing Melanie with the song Going Down South. Again, please, if you're local, try and get any of your musician friends to send us music. Email us at videos@thedigitalcraft.com. Either that or topics@thedigitalcraft.com. I'm not sure which email I've been advertising. Either way, they both go to the same place. And have them email us and tell us where to find the tracks they would like us to play, and make sure that I can download them. Anyway, this is Mr. Alan Quant from the Digital Craft, and this is the Digital Craft Show, and we are done. Thank you.